Slowly start. Any requests for today? Have like some definitely some new stuff for us today. Yeah, anything you kind of want to specifically look at?
No, new things sound good.
Awesome. You have blocks, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. We'll need that. All right, so let's come to a nice, comfortable seated position. Close your eyes. Soften your belly. Feel the weight of the shoulders drop down. Find your breath. It definitely feels like a new air happening with spring coming in. Spring is always this symbolization of growth and rebirth. And so I like to take those two words into our practice for today. So growth and rebirth. How do they show up for you inside our physical practice and maybe outside of the office? So just take a big inhale right there. And open the mouth and sigh out. Softening even more in the belly. 2 more times just like that. Inhale deeply. And open the mouth and sigh out. Last one. Inhale deeply. And exhale, sigh out. Now just noticing the difference now, just attuning yourself to your breath. What may have changed in the body, what may have softened or in the body. Keeping that quietness in for 1 more moment. And slowly open your eyes and get a nice tabletop position. So again, root the inner edges of your hands down. So really pressing the knuckles down into the mat and energetically hugging the thumb and index finger towards one another. Keeping that hug the inner thighs in. And then exhale, round the spine. And inhale, lift and lengthen. Just doing this a few times for yourself, linking breath and movement. Reminding ourselves that our practice is for us a moment to be in service of ourselves. Taking 2 more breaths here, enjoying the ride of just warming up the spine and lingering in any places that you might want to linger in. Good, and at the bottom of your next exhalation, come back to a nice neutral tabletop position. Really flex your toes into the ground and lift the knees up an inch off the mat for hovering table. Nice, soften in between the shoulder blades, hug the inner thighs towards one another, look out. Feel the abdominals light on fire, wake up, good morning. Take 1 more breath in. And exhale, press your hands down, press back to the downward facing dog. Maybe adjust your legs if you need to. Nice, and inhale, come to the top of a plank. Good, notice if you need to adjust anything, and exhale, press back into downward facing dog. The length of our plank is the length of our down dog. So again, inhale, root your arms down into the ground. Keeping that exhale, hug the inner thighs towards one another. Soften the shoulder blades in. Good, and bend both knees, sit your hips back like you're sitting in a little chair in the back of your mat. Nice. And just as you do that, feel the elongation of the low back here. Really tilt the pelvis forward. And then slowly straighten the legs. Good, look at the top of your mat, step or jump. Inhale the arms high to the sky. We'll do this 2 more times, just linking breath and movement, hugging the inner thighs towards one another. Exhale forward. Last one, inhale in. And exhale, bring your arms back down, press your hands down into the mat, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Good, drop the back knee down. Good, hug the inner thighs towards one another, press your feet down into the mat, and exhale the arms up. Low lunge. Good, since we're in low lunge, let's get a little bit of a shoulder stretch here. So interlace your hands behind you. And as you do it, just notice like your hips, tuck the right hip back, left hip forward. Interlace your hands behind you, pull your fingertips apart, and lift your heart and chest up. Nice. Lean back into the shoulder blades. Take one more big inhale, and as you really root down on the right foot, and exhale slowly under your hands. Press back into a downward facing dog. Notice the difference from side to side. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Drop the back knee down. Hug the feet towards one another so we engage in the hamstrings, and exhale the arms up. Good. And then tuck that left hip back so we really square off the hips here. Take one more inhale as you reach the arms up. And exhale, we'll do one more interlace. Interlace the hands behind you. Pull the fingertips apart. Think about the shoulder bone moving back. And then use your breath to lift up in the heart and chest. Lean back in the shoulders, lean back in the head a little bit. Really opening up the clavicle. Taking one more inhale in. And exhale, slowly undo your hands. Bring your hands back to the mat, press back into a downward facing dog. Notice the difference from side to side. Inhale, come to the top of the plank. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, hug the inner thighs towards one another. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Rotate the back foot down, hug the legs in towards one another. And exhale the arms parallel to your back. Good. Make sure that your front hand over the toe. If you want to really take a wide warrior two, you can. So really spread the feet apart. And breathe here. I always think about these toes as like sometimes a broken record. We come here so often. So again, these two words of growth and rebirth. What more can you find in these toes? Can you hug your legs more towards the center? Can you look up to the sky a little bit more? Take one more inhale. And exhale, bring the right arm onto the right thigh. Sweep the left arm across. Really press your right arm down into the thigh and open up the heart and chest. Take one more big inhale in. And exhale, root down and come back up. Slowly straighten the front leg. Go ahead and bring your block to the outside of the front foot. And then inhale, hug the legs in towards one another so that they can each fall between the thighs. And then reach really far forward. Go ahead and grab your hand to the block. And your left arm is parallel to the shoulder. Good, yeah. Lean back into the shoulder blades and back into the head. Spread the front toes apart. Yeah. Nice. Take one more big inhale. You spiral everything up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, come back up. Wiggle the arms to the front of your mat. Press back into a downward facing dog. Whew. Notice the difference from side to side. Inhale, come to the top of the plank. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. Exhale, yogi's choice to keep the knees bent or not. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hug the inner thighs in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Rotate that back foot down. Hug the inner thighs towards one another, keeping that thumbs back to warrior two. Look over your front fingertips. Pull the belly button to the back of the spine. You can really shoot energy out from the opposite direction, so the fingertips and out from the crown of the head. Taking one more big inhale in, feeling the breath stretching from the inside out. And exhale, bring your left forearm, sweep right and across. Nice. Getting nice long leg from your right foot all the way up through your right fingertips. As you press down on the left arm, open the heart and chest up a little bit more. And exhale, root down to come back up. Straighten the front leg. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. Keeping that, reach really far forward. Go ahead and grab your ball. Good. And then imagine that you're up against a wall, lean back into the shoulder blades and back into the head. Really imagining that you're pressing your head up against the wall. Taking one more big inhale and splay open. And exhale, root down with the feet to come back up. Okay, go ahead and rotate the left foot forward. If you want, you can bring your block right in front of you. Bring your hands into your hips, you're going to come to a wide side angle stretch. Again, hug the inner thighs towards one another so we can engage in the hamstrings. Take a big inhale and lift your chest up and exhale, hold. You can bring your hands onto your block or onto the floor. Yeah, and really try to find a nice long line from your tailbone all the way out through your head. Soften in between the shoulder blades. Good, and as long as you can keep a nice long spine, maybe you bend the elbows. Get a little bit of a deeper hamstring stretch. And just notice where you are in the feet. Are you more in the heels? Are you more in the toes? Can you find somewhere in the middle? Take one more big inhale in. And exhale, bend the knees and slowly roll up. Go ahead and windmill your arms to the front of your mat. Press back into a downward facing dog. Notice the difference. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. Inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, find pigeon on the right side. So bring your right foot right underneath the left wrist. Nice. And then even here, thinking about tucking the right hip bone back, left hip bone forward. Flex both feet. Hug the legs in towards one another. And actually, you can bring your block right in front of you. I really love to do this, to bring my fingertips onto my block so I just get a little bit higher. Pull the belly button to the back of the spine, the rib cage in, and then soften in between the shoulder blades. Look out. Really soft and feeling simultaneously the strength of your legs pushing into the floor as you soften the hips down. Taking a few hearty breaths here. Softening where it wants to soften. One more big inhale. And exhale, keeping that strength of your legs of hugging towards one another. Come down onto your forearms. Maybe extend the back knee a little bit more and just soften into the right hip. Softening in the shoulder blades. Just for a moment, focusing the breath in the pelvis. Allowing the breath to circulate here. Another sweet breath in. Sweet breath out. And then interlace your hands in front of you. Have your pinky nice and long. Energetically hug the forearms towards one another. Lift the back knee clap up. Lift the pelvis up a bit. And then slide the back foot back to plank pose. And then simultaneously press your heels back and your heart forward, soften between the shoulder blades. Nice. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. Taking another big inhale in. And exhale, drop the knees towards the ground. Find yourself in a child's pose just for a moment. Softening the hips back. Softening the shoulders. Good. And at the bottom of your next exhalation, float back into a downward facing dog. Hug those inner thighs towards one another. Just notice the difference between each hip right now. Inhale the left leg high to the sky. Exhale, find pigeon on the left side. Again, really flexing through both heels. Pull the left hip bone back. And then hug the inner thighs towards one another. Really press the front calf down into the mat. Yeah, so you can really feel that difference there. Good, come on top of your fingertips, pull the belly button to the back of the spine, rib cage to the back of the spine. Soften in between the shoulder blades and look out. Good. And again, as you press down into the floor with your legs, can you soften the pelvis down? Give me a few more breaths here. And slowly coming back into your forearms, keeping the strength of your legs, hugging the legs towards one another, but just relaxing a little bit more in the upper body, softening a little bit more in that left hip bone. And just for fun, you can kind of notice tilting the pelvis back and forth. You're going to get different sort of stretches in that left hip bone. So you can play with that and just notice like where is a nice sweet spot for you. Your pelvis is anteriorly tilt, posteriorly tilt. One more breath in. And this time, just go ahead and come back into your fingertips, lift the back kneecap up. Let's back into a downward facing dog. Notice the difference from each side. Inhale, come to the top of a plank. Exhale, chaturanga, stay on your belly. We're gonna come into a few interlaced hands for locust. So go ahead and just bring your arms right beside you. Good. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. Press all 10 toes down into the mat so that you're lifting the kneecap up. Good. Pull the belly button to the back of the spine and then interlace your hands behind you. Pull the fingertips apart, keeping all this. I know it's a lot. Exhale, lift the arms and chest and legs up. Nice. Good. Slowly get out of this. You came up in that belly. Good. Lift the shoulder bones back. Yeah, hug the inner thighs towards one another. Take one more big inhale and shoot energy out the toes and up the top of the head. And then exhale, slowly come down. You can pillow with your hands and just sort of rock your hips to the side. We'll do this one more time, just take a moment of rest. And this time, as you do it a second time, notice the more you sort of press down with your pelvis into the mat, the more you can lift up from both sides. So again, go ahead and bring your arms right beside you. Interlace your hands. Good. Hug the inner thighs towards one another, or engage the legs. Pull the fingertips apart. Take a big inhale as you lift the shoulder bones back. And exhale everything up. Yeah. Nice. And move forward. So really think about the heart and chest moving up. Yeah. And really start to rip the fingertips apart. So you're really thinking about pulling the upper chest up. Nice. Take one more breath right there. And then exhale, come back down. Lay on your belly. My absolute favorite stretch. Just bend those knees. And crisscross applesauce. This is such a great exercise to release the low back. Good. Take one more breath in here. Bring your head down. Press your arms down into the mat. Flex your feet. Press back into a downward facing dog. We're going to be slowly moving into baby dancer. So we're going to do a lot of thigh stretches right now. So inhale the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Go ahead and drop that back knee down. And again, you can stay here if it feels good to heel toe your foot out. You can. Hug the legs in towards one another. And exhale, open the right arm back. Nice. And really thinking about sticking the butt towards the heel. So I know that might feel like counterintuitive, but go ahead and do that, and then think about the sit bones moving down towards the mat and bend a little bit more in the right knee. Yeah, spiral the heart and chest up. Feeling the breath perfect. One more big inhale, and as you hug everything towards the midline, and exhale it out. And slowly let that go. Bring your hand back to the mat. And then just go ahead and come swivel that leg to a tabletop. Go ahead and bring the left foot in front. And again, you can heel toe that foot out if that feels good. Hug the legs in towards one another, root the right hand down into the ground. Lift the left arm back to grab the back foot. And really press the butt towards the heel. Good. And press your hand into foot, foot into hand, and spiral the heart and chest up as you bend a little bit more on that left knee. Really good thigh stretch. Taking one more big inhale in. Exhale it out. And inhale, slowly unwind. Go ahead and press the back kneecap up, press back into a downward facing dog. And then inhale, look at the top of your mat, step or jump. Inhale the arms high to the sky. And exhale, bring the arms right down beside you. We're going to come to another thigh stretch here. This one is a standing balance and will help us for baby dancer. So hug the inner thighs towards one another, bring your weight over to the left foot, go ahead and bend the right knee. Grab the back foot. And then hug the inner thighs towards one another. And bring your left foot. Flex that foot. And then draw the sit bones down to the ground. And imagine you're really rooting in your left foot, maybe you can lift the left foot. So we'll come back to this position a little bit later. So really just here, thinking about rooting down to lift up. Notice if you get a little bit of length in the hip flexor, and a little back. Immediately transfer that weight to the right leg. Go ahead and bend the left knee, flex the foot. Hug the inner thighs towards one another. And again, Root down with that right foot, lift the right arm. As we root, we rise up. Such an action of growth. Take a breath in. And exhale out, soften the shoulder blades. One more inhale. And exhale, slowly move the hand down and the foot down. Knees a little bit. Nice, come to the top of your mat. Inhale, the arms target the side. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, press your arms down, press back and downward facing dog. Okay, so we're going to move into dolphin, which is, I think, pretty new for this class. So go ahead, actually, you can look at me for a moment. I'm going to demonstrate. So I would normally have a block, and there's two ways to do this. It's basically a downward facing dog, but on the forearms. But it's like really intense for the shoulder blades, because the shoulder blades totally, like, once they want to splay out and splay down, but we really need to push them up. So two ways you can hold the block. You can have the block right horizontally here and press your palms in, or make an L shape, just like this. So I would be kind of outlining the block and then squeeze the block in, energetically hug the forearms towards one another. So since I have crazy mobile shoulders, I'm actually going to spread my hands out since I don't have a block, and then really like crazy hug, like lock my forearms in. Soften in between the shoulder blades, come up to dolphin. And then I'm really, actually, this is a great shirt to see. I'm gonna press my forearms down. You can see the scapulas lifting up, and then I'm gonna lock in. Oh, and then walk out. Just like, we're gonna do that 30 times. Walk in, lift, 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 really press down with the forearms, and lift back up. So we'll do that 3 times. So, whew, what?
I don't think my shoulders are as flexible as yours.
Yeah, my shoulders,
Just oh, that's like a great.
oh, totally. Totally. You can do it as like to the point where it feels comfortable and to the point where you feel like stable. The moment you feel unstable, we'll just come out of it. Because I mean, I'm just really hyper mobile in my shoulders, so I have to hum.
I couldn't believe the evidence that your shoulders were.
Yeah, it's not healthy. It's not a healthy thing. I always get like a ton of shoulder injuries. So it's great because I can get into things, but like it's just they're weak basically. So crazy. So yeah, just and then even here, just soften between the shoulder blades. Okay. And then just come down to your forearms. Yeah. So again, yeah, you can do exactly that, or just press your palms in, whichever one feels better. And then you really have to think about pressing your palms into the block. Good. Energetically rub your arms together. And then soften in between the shoulder blades. Yes, you want the scapulas to move towards one another. Huh? Yes, exactly. It's more important than I can force it. If you like have a pencil in between the scapulas, I want to like hold there. Good. And then slowly bring your toes out. Yeah, this is it. And then press your forearm out even more. Yeah, and then go back to plank. This is like crazy scapular work, right? Slowly come back up. Do this, if you can, if you want to do it one more time, you can. If not, if this feels like too much, that's absolutely okay. And then whenever you're sort of finished practicing, just find yourself in a child's pose for a moment. Soften those scapulas. So you'll see in Baby Dancer Live, this shoulder opener kind of is amazing, but it's brutal. But it's a huge shoulder stabilizer and helping mobility, really. So just take a breath here. Soften where you want to soften in the belly. Taking another big inhale in and exhaling it out. One more breath in. Exhale out. At the bottom of your exhalation, float back into a downward facing dog. Notice the difference of your shoulder blades. Notice if you can press your hands into the floor a little bit more so you can lift those shoulder blades up and back. Just notice how you soften in the heart there. Good. Inhale, look at the top of your mat, step or jump. And inhale the arms high to the sky. Good, so we're going to move to baby dancer. I'll demonstrate first. We don't have any, there's no straps everywhere. Okay. Then we'll just do baby dancer instead of the full mat. It's a really fun pose. If it wasn't COVID, huh?
Do you want stretchy straps or?
Oh, they have like air bands over there. This is a really
Yeah, I'm sorry.
oh, that's
I think they know nicely.
yeah.
If you want something to stretch or not.
Like, no, not the ones that stretch so much, something that's more like this. I mean, if it wasn't so much but we can work on it next weekend too. So we'll go to baby dancer now, but we see the full variation of this which I cannot do. Is both hand behind and side foot, which is insane. But if you have a strap, you can get to it a little bit somewhat of a burden. But we're gonna do it without the strap. So again, bring your feet down into the ground, hug the inner thighs in. I'll just demonstrate first. I'm gonna place my weight on my left. And I'm gonna go right into that normal posture. But our hands are sort of on the outside, so I'm gonna rotate my hand onto the inside, which is already a really good shoulder. Hug the inner thighs in. And then again, I'm gonna root down to lift up, and then I'm going to press my foot to my neck, hand to foot. Whoa. Okay, root down that much. And then reach back. So you see this is a huge shoulder opener here. And this hip, should really be good. Good. Okay, so it's like a full opener, front chest opener to the back. So just for me, I'm going to roll through the other section. So let's bring your weight onto the right foot. Go ahead and right the left. Rotate your hand to the inside. You just already notice the difference in the shoulder blade there. Root down in the right leg. Lift the right arm up. And then press your foot into hand to foot. The more you press that, the better. Nice. Awesome. Soften between the shoulder blades. Pull that right shoulder back. Yes. Take another breath there. Notice if there's any pinching of the back.
Your rooted leg is straight.
It's straight, yeah. So that's a thing that like needs to bend. I mean, you don't want to like hyper walk in that you don't want to like walk at the end. You always want there to be like a soft bend. Something that helps in all standing balances is to think about the thigh moving back, which means the butt is sort of moving back, but it's just a way to like, so you can see the butt on the side. If I just like here, let's say I look this way up, I want to think about this thigh moving back. So you can see that I start to have this arch here, and then the sit bone's moving down. So that helps a lot with stability. The thigh. Okay, so let's try the other side. So bring your weight onto your left foot, that's not right.
Yeah.
Okay. All of a sudden, I was like, since I've done it on this side, I was like, wait, this feels already tough. Root down to the left leg, lift the left arm. And then even just here, lift the back. Next, sit bones down. And then press your foot in your hand, foot, lean forward. Hinging at the hips. Notice that one side might just feel a little bit wobbly over the other. And straight up the hips. Nice. Nice, Spencer. Good. Yeah. It's fun. So it's really fun. I'm just going to show you with the straps since we have like a little bit of time. Because we can do this next time. So this is when you get really a big opener in your shoulder. So literally it's the same thing, except I'm going to press my foot with the strap and then press up. But you have this really huge opening in your shoulder blades. So it feels, yeah, you feel it a lot more in the upper body with the strap. So we'll do that. Okay, so let's make a mud lock. So we're going to go to the squat for the rock a little bit. So hug the inner thighs towards one another. Bring your hands on the center. Take a big inhale to lift the heart chest up. And then exhale, bend at the knees. And as far as you can, keep those heels down. Nice. Good. And then think about really lifting up in the heart and chest. Good. Taking one more breath here. Make sure the knees are going out. And then slowly bring your hands to the back. Come back to sit on your mat. Good. Nice. Maybe wiggle out your sit bones a little bit. And then slowly just roll down. Hug your knees. Your heels in line with your sit bone. Bring your arms out to a T and windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Sort of enjoying the ride of the pelvis. Maybe softening your breath and closing your eyes here for a moment. Good. We'll come into two bridge poses before we go into a supine twist. So bring your feet back, right in front of you, heels in line with the sit bones. Bring your forearms down to robot hands, I like to call. Yeah, so the forearms are right next to each other, palms facing in, fingertips to the sky. Press your forearms down into the mat so much so that you can kind of wiggle your shoulder blades towards one another. Keeping that, press your head into the mat so you engage in the cervical spine. Keeping that, dig your heels into the ground and exhale, lift the pelvis up. Nice, hug the inner thighs towards one another. Take a breath here. The more you press it down with your feet, the more you can lift up in the chest and the pelvis. And then slowly exhale, roll down the spine. Softening as you roll down. Wiggle out the hips a little bit. We'll do it one more time. Good. Press your forearms down into the ground, press the head into the ground, dig the heels in and exhale, lift the pelvis up. Keeping all those actions, hug the inner thighs in. Taking one more breath in. And exhale, slowly rolling down. Let's bring your arms out to its feet, having the knees knock over to the right side for a supine twist. Flexing both feet, you can stay here or bring your right foot on top of the left knee for some additive weight. And just soften where you need to soften. Allow gravity to do most of the work here. Another breath in. And exhaling it out. And slowly bring the knees to center. Take a breath where the pelvis is, really recentering and grounding down through the pelvis. At the bottom of that exhalation, allow the knees to knock over to the left side, flexing both feet. And again, you can stay here or bring the left foot on top of the right knee, whatever feels good. Another breath here, softening the belly and softening the back. And slowly exhale, bring the knees back to center. Allow the legs to fall out for Shavasana. The hands come down. Or maybe the hands come one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart center. Allow the eyes to soften. Unclench the jaw. Soften in the throat and the neck. Soften in the shoulders. Breathing down both arms and wrists and all 10 fingers. Unwinding the hips. Breathing down both legs, both ankles and toes. Taking a moment to breathe through the whole body. Noticing the movement around us and the sounds as we begin to quiet a bit more internally. Soft breath in. Open up the mouth and sigh it out. Slowly wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Maybe rock the pelvis from side to side a little bit. Slowly roll over to one side of the body. Soften your head and pelvis. Body with your exhalation, slowly lift your hand, away from back. To that nice, comfortable seated position that we started in. Keep your eyes closed if that feels good. And just like we started, soften the belly, the weight of the shoulders around that. And just notice how you're feeling. Keep that inventory and then notice how the body has shifted. The mind and spirit. Take another big inhale. Open the mouth and sigh out. Your hands on
Thank you so much for joining me for practice with me. Have such an amazing rest of the weekend with this weather.